Get ready, Staten Island. It's time to celebrate 5 years of Ferry Hawks baseball. Join us Friday, April 24th through Sunday, April 26th for our first homestand of the season and our 5th anniversary celebration. Score big with $5 tickets. Grab $5 domestic draft beers. Enjoy $5 popcorn. And yes, 2 Nathan's hot dogs for just $5. Visit ferryhawks.com now to lock in your seats. The Dominic Carter Show on the Red Apple Podcast Network.
And the number to reach us this hour live, 800-848-9222. Dominic Carter here with you folks. Iran, good news, bad news. The good news, President Trump says Iran will not execute 8 women after he demanded their release. But the bad news, Iran apparently firing on ships. What needs to happen in this situation? You sound off today, folks. 800-848-9222. Absolutely heartbreaking to watch her parents on TV today on CBS say her name. Sheridan Gorman, a mother and father being asked at the morgue in Chicago, are you ready? Are you ready to identify your 18-year-old daughter, your family from Westchester County, New York? You sent her to college here, and are you ready now to identify her body, killed allegedly by a migrant and illegal? When does it stop? And Mom Donnie just hates the police. You may recall that very high-profile incident in Brooklyn. 2 cops who happen to be white, a suspect, apparently they had the wrong man, Brooklyn Narcotics. They stop him. It got very ugly. The video is horrible, but they're white. He's black. And now, Mom Donnie, not only have the cops lost their guns, their badges, not only are they on modified duty, Mom Donnie and his police commissioner, and you know this is coming from City Hall, has disbanded the entire unit in that area for that department based on one incident. Well, we still don't know the facts. 800-848-9222. Before we get to Sheridan Gorman, the 18-year-old, let's start first with the situation in Iran. Iran apparently firing on ships.
3 cargo ships have been hit by Iranian gunfires in those small little fast boats in the Strait of Hormuz, and it happened this morning.
Meanwhile, President Trump has extended his ceasefire deadline, citing a fractured regime. And Matt Finn is live in Islamabad, Pakistan, with the latest for us. Hey, Matt.
Hi, Ainsley. There is supposed to be a ceasefire, but we are getting these reports of 3 separate ships attacked in the Strait of Hormuz this morning. The 3rd cargo ship, the most recent, reportedly has been attacked while attempting to transit the strait. It may have a Panama flag on it, and earlier, the British military reported one of its ships was attacked as well. We don't have the confirmed attacker, but, Iran is suspected here.
And that from Fox News. I don't care what anybody says here. Iran is trying to force the hand of the United States, I guess, to look as a victim to the world. But how could a regime like the folks in Iran look like a victim to the world based on the things they've done? And keep this in mind. Oh, Trump, end it. The man is trying to clean up where other presidents failed. Some released frozen money. Can you hear me, Obama? And you can't end something like this with the snap of a finger. That's the reality. If we're going to be honest about this situation, we see your telephone calls coming in. We're about to begin with them momentarily. But absolutely heartbreaking. Watching the CBS morning show this morning, the parents of 18-year-old Sheridan Gorman, the young lady from Westchester, New York, went to La Loya University in Chicago did nothing wrong. 18-year-old child, and this illegal who's trying to play the victim card now himself. Oh, he has traumatic injury in his brain. Well, whatever. But I want you to listen to this. The pain of a parent, in this case, parents. Absolutely heartbreaking. Each word cut like a knife, listening to them. The agony of what this family had to go through.
They say when your child goes off to college, you worry about drugs, alcohol, maybe even tuition, but not this.
She was really an amazing person. I grieve not only for all of the people that she touched in this life, but the people she won't touch.
Sheridan Gorman was an 18-year-old freshman at Loyola University, Chicago. She was filled with promise and pep. She was her parents' joy.
No one should have to deal with the police coming to your door at 6 a.m., falling to your knees when you hear the news that no parent should ever hear.
There's nothing that prepares you for going to the medical examiner's office and filling out the paperwork. Your hand is trembling, and then you have to go identify your daughter's body. And they ask you if you're ready, and nothing makes you ready for that.
On March 19th, Gorman and her friends went to catch a glimpse of the northern lights on Lake Michigan at around 1:30 a.m. They were just about a block and a half from campus, but as Gorman reached the end of this pier, she encountered a masked gunman.
He, moved towards her threateningly. She turned around and she warned her friends that there was a man with a gun and you need to run, and they ran. She ran. She made it
40 feet.
But she made it 40 feet, and he shot her in the back. Came out her neck.
And
she saved her friends.
What?
I don't know. Presumably, we heard that. They say it was a senseless tragedy. It wasn't. It was a murder. It was a preventable murder.
Police arrested 26-year-old Jose Medina, a Venezuelan who authorities say entered the country illegally. His lawyer says her client lost a portion of his brain and skull after he was robbed and shot in the head in Colombia in 2018. His lawyer said he had the mental capacity of a child.
He had the mental capacity and the wherewithal to buy a gun, to have a mask on, and to be waiting. The mask was on, and he had a gun pointed at my daughter when she passed
him. A child does not do that.
A man does not
shoot a retreating child in the back.
In the back. And according to the parents, the bullet came through her neck. An 18-year-old child off to college to have fun, study, mature. And this happened to her by an illegal. Here's the truth. Nobody wants to deal with the truth. President Biden should have never been elected president of the United States. Oh, go get me Kamala Harris. Get that black woman, that pretty black woman. She's going to take me to the White House. There's a reason, President Biden, I think going back to 88, when you tried to run, and it never worked for you. And if you had never been the president of the United States, this family in tremendous pain and tremendous agony, these two parents and her sister will never, ever be the same again. And if you hadn't been elected, Biden, this child probably would be alive right now, wrapping up her freshman year. Now, Mom Donnie, one disgust to another. We see all your calls. So you had the incident in Brooklyn. The Brooklyn Narcotics Unit, they believe they got buy and bust. They believe they got the right guy. It was the wrong guy in a liquor store. It gets very physical. We haven't seen part one of the tape, only part two, which is horrendous and awful. The man is punched numerous times in the face. But of course, the question becomes, you should not have resisted, sir. Please don't resist. So now there's an update. Mamdani, woof, he hates the cops. Because these two officers are on desk duty, they've lost their guns, their badges. Mamdani swoops in and has disbanded quietly the entire unit. There's an update on this case now, and this is a report that includes the man at the center of this that was in the store. And Mamdani, you ought to be ashamed of yourself.
Mayor Mamdani announced that a police team has been disbanded after officers violently attacked a man in a Brooklyn liquor store last week.
The 2 officers involved, along with a supervising agent, have had their responsibilities changed. They are on modified duty, and the entire team that was part of that operation has been disbanded.
Footage shows 2 officers repeatedly punching and kicking Timothy Brown, a home health aide, and continuing their attack as he bleeds profusely on the ground.
They slammed me up against the glass, repeatedly hitting me in the temple and my head. You see my eyes black. I just thank God that I'm alive. That's all I can say.
The NYPD said Brown was targeted due to mistaken identity, yet officers still arrested him for the crime of resisting arrest. The Brooklyn DA has dropped that charge.
I also want to thank Abelee Moran, who recorded this incident, for her courage. Because of her bravery, the truth is visible.
He had his hands up, but they just still kept hitting him. They kept hitting him. I'm glad I was able to take out my phone and record the whole situation. You're a hero. You're a hero.
Mayor Mamdani announced a broader investigation into the NYPD's narcotics unit.
In light of a number of constituents in the neighborhood sharing that it wasn't simply this incident that troubled them, but that this incident was part of a larger number of concerns that had been shared around these operations.
But with the officers still working for the NYPD, many think the city's move doesn't go far enough.
These officers must be fired, arrested, and prosecuted for their violence and actions outside the law.
I'm scared for my life. I'm scared for people that look like me.
That's right.
They need to be locked up right now.
They do it all the time to our black and brown people, all the time.
What's your name?
My name is Shut Up. I'm trying to make a call right now because it's
I'm going to report you to the officer.
So this is all wrong. How do you demand the officers be fired and we haven't seen part 1 of the tape? We've only seen the highly salacious material in the tape. We haven't seen what actually provoked this. This is why I will not call for these officers to be fired. They are due process. And by the way, Mamdani, when you get rid of all the cops, who's going to protect us? You? Are you going to do the job? No, you're busy pandering every chance you get. Mayors do politics, but you take it to an extreme, Mamdani. Coming up at the bottom of the hour, we'll let you hear what the Detective Endowment Association, they want a law where you have to stay 25 feet away from police operations. Let's go to John, line 3, Long Beach. John, what's on your mind?
Hey, Dominic. With these cops, they definitely should have their day, find out the whole story. But my problem with the mayor is, if these cops did something wrong, then these cops should get punished. But shutting down the unit, that's like saying there's a pedophile teacher. All right, let's shut down the schools.
Correct.
Don't blame a whole unit because of some. Look, I go back to ICE, right? I think ICE has done a fantastic job. What happened in Minnesota? Did some of those guys make a mistake? Yeah, well, if they did, then go after those.
I don't know. I wouldn't agree that they made a mistake. You can't drive a vehicle towards an ICE officer and then go, oh, I'm a victim. I'm sorry the woman lost her life. The man, you can't interfere while they're getting physical. And thank you for the great call, John. I got to take a break. You can't interfere and then it's the end of the world because it didn't work out. I mean, it's tragic, but we can't have 2 sets of rules. I've got to take a break at this point. We see all of your telephone calls. We're going to get to them when we come back.
The Dominic Carter Show, entertaining and informative on the Red Apple Podcast Network.
There's a lot of baseball left to be played, and I am still keeping the faith, as I know that many Mets fans are across the city, though I will accept being addressed as Mayor Mambino for the day. I will keep my fingers crossed as every Mets fan does. And I think that this is part and parcel of what it means to be the mayor. You take it in stride.
Sometimes when you don't have something good to say, I just go, So Mamdani is such bad news, such bad luck. He embraces Mr. Met, Mrs. Met. The team hasn't won since. The New York Mets. Mamdani goes to the team and Mr. Met, the guy with the baseball head, Mrs. Met, the baseball head, they haven't won since. Thank you, Mamdani. Oh, but you're a pretty boy and, you're so popular and the masses love you. Not the baseball teams. Bad news bears. Mamdani. Let's go to John, line 2, Lake Success. John, what's on your mind?
How's it going, Dominic? I got a question. Maybe you can help me understand this a little better. We've always lived under the assumption that mutually assured destruction was the doctrine that kept this country safe. It's the purpose for having thousands of nuclear weapons in our arsenal. We've had a number of bad actors over the years that have come to acquire nuclear weapons, including North Korea or Pakistan. And, it all starts with the Russians. We remember the Cuban Missile Crisis. What makes Iran uniquely dangerous in that mutually assured destruction would not apply towards a threat that
John, it sounds like you're sympathizing. It sounds like you're sympathizing with Iran. You went the long way around to sympathize with them. Is that what you're trying to do?
No, I truly don't understand.
Okay, all right. So let's deal with it. Let's deal with it. Look at how they're negotiating right now with the Trump administration. Look at the fact that President Trump had to go on a line and put himself on a limb to say, please don't hang the 8 women that you're about to hang. What about their own people that they've shot? And you're asking me what makes them different? You don't see what makes them different than all the other bad actors? You really don't see that?
In North Korea, they blow up people with artillery. I mean, they're very bad there as well, but we haven't invaded them.
Well, all I can tell you is that the Trump administration, John, with all due respect, it sounds like, no offense, my friend, you sound like the Democrats that try and put a mask on it, but when you're really sympathizing with Iran, it's a very difficult situation. President Trump is trying, that's why we have an indefinite now ceasefire or whatever term you want to use. It's just horrible in terms of what's going on. Thank you for the call. Let's go to line 5, Russ in White Plains. Russ, what's on your mind?
Hey, Dominic, with Sergeant Duran in the Bronx with that idiot on the scooter, if he had just clotheslined that dummy without a helmet, he'd be a hero. But because he used initiative and picked up a cooler, he's now facing discipline. I like cops. They do the right thing sometimes, but is kicking in the head excessive force? I finally saw that video, and they were kicking him in the head. And how much is this?
Russ, I got to take a break. It depends on what you do prior to the kicking in the head. If they have no other choice, no other way to get you down and to restrain you, then it is what it is. It depends on what happened prior to that. No one wants to deal with that. We're coming right back.
The Dominic Carter Show. Entertaining and informative. On the Red Apple Podcast Network.
I am looking at my Twitter, at my ex. Jimmy Fontanez says, at Dominic TV, talking about the last call we just had, Russ. He says, you're going to try and clothesline somebody when they're going 30 miles an hour on a moped? Obviously, Russ needs to go back to school and study physics. Debbie Lebedo, Staten Island, says, after the Met head kissed Mamdani, it was the kiss of death. Indeed, Debbie. And she goes on to say the police that are put on desk duty should not be fired. The Brooklyn incident, but when the facts are found, punish accordingly. That sounds very reasonable. But then Debbie says, but the criminals are set free out on the streets. Who is Mamdani protecting? Not us. We see all your telephone calls. We're going to get right back to them. But the father, say her name. Sheridan Gorman, her father, 18 years old. Hey, guess what? Governor and Mayor Dumb and Dumber of Illinois that just love the illegals, right? You just love them. You take all our money and you just spend it all, and then you got to cut education in Chicago because you have nothing left That's Mayor Dum Dum and Governor Dum Dum, Tweety, and whatever term you want to use, right, folks? So listen to the father of this 18-year-old girl. He wants accountability from those clowns in Illinois.
There needs to be some cooperation between state and local government and federal officials. When someone commits a crime and they've been here illegally, there needs to be cooperation. He was arrested for, yes, a nonviolent crime, but he also was here illegally. In our mind, he should have been handed over to the feds at that point.
He should have never been here. How about that, sir? And you're right. He should have been handed over to the feds. But Democrats in sanctuary cities, keep voting Democrat. Good luck with that. We'll see how well that's going to work out for you. Okay? Because when Mamdani is done with you, you're not going to have anything at all. All the money's going to be gone. The billionaires are going to be gone in Florida somewhere. The supermarkets are going to be horrible. 17 or 30 million to open one supermarket? One? Uno. Mamdani. Oh no, but you got, hey, this is about my image. I said city-run supermarkets. So what? It didn't work in Kansas City. I've got to show you the Mamdani effect. And then I guess he'll blame Eric Adams, his predecessor, when it doesn't work. And by the way, Mamdani, we still haven't heard from your wife. What's up with that, man? She got a lot of racist things to say. And by the way, folks, I'm just in between the commercial break. Okay, I'm guilty. I've just been told by Jonas that Jonas, there's a lot of mail for me. So if you've sent me letters, I apologize. I haven't looked at them as of late, but I read every single one. Obviously, I can't respond to all of them. And to the haters, just know I look at it and then I say, you are the weakest link. And I shoot it like a little basketball into the garbage can. So the Detectives Endowment Association, New York City, the union representing detectives, obviously. So the mayor has a full detail to protect him, even though he hates cops. There's an advance team before he arrives. There's the unit that travels with him. There's the unit that drives him. He gets everything, but he hates cops. And so what happened in Brooklyn, where they called that woman a hero that videotaped the incident with the two officers and the man, the video's bad, right? Police are saying, I've had enough. You know, the first thing that happens, you know, I'm a star TV reporter. Here's my video camera. I know you're trying to get the handcuffs on this man, but I want to put my camera right in your face and I want to agitate you and provoke you so that I have it on video and then I too can sue the city or cities, whatever location you're at, the municipality, the state, the government, right? I too want to be able to sue. That's what this is all about. So the Detectives Association, New York City, Scott Monroe, the president, says, wait a minute, New York Governor Kathy Hochul, we need a 25-foot buffer that separates police, on-duty police, from these clowns that are always trying to do eyewitness news.
Every day, the NYPD detectives and cops across the city and state are being harassed, followed, filmed, doxxed, targeted by social media agitators looking to go viral. And it's putting lives at risk. Mayor Madani, you have the luxury of not dealing with these dangerous agitators. You've got a wall of blue around you 24/7, detectives protecting you, creating the very buffer zone we're fighting for to protect our detectives. Those same detectives are out on the street with cameras shoved in their faces, being followed, interfered with, and harassed while trying to protect New Yorkers. Mr. Mayor, you're New Yorkers. That's the reality on the ground every single day. And it needs to end. This isn't about politics. It's about safety. It's not about the far left. It's not about the right. You stood with other unions, the doormen, the nurses. Now we're asking you to stand with us, the men and women that wear the uniform.
And, Mom Donnie, you should stand with them. But I know you hate police. I get it. But be a man about it. Give up your police detail. And to your racist wife, should she really have a police detail? I don't think so. Let her mouth protect her. She's got a big mouth. And firing off those social media comments. Let that protect her. She's an artist. Let that protect her. Let her artiste protect you and her, Mom Donnie, since you hate police that much. Let's go back to your telephone calls. Line 5, Chaplain Richie, Long Island. What's on your mind?
Hey, Dominic, I love you. Long-time listener, first-time caller. You're doing
wonderful.
Great.
Thank you.
Make sure the people out there know about Iran. And, I'm going to say something. Almost 100 years ago, Winston Churchill said that, and he was talking about radical Islam. We know there are many nice Muslims. We're talking about Islamists. He said Islamism in a man is the moral equivalent of rabies in a dog. And I'm going to tell, and that's pretty rough. It's pretty rough. But he accurately described the people who run Iran, not the Iranian people who they kill.
Right. I agree with you in terms of what you just said. The leadership there, all we have to do is just look at how this is going back and forth. President Trump stops the bombing, tries to extend the olive branch. They're like, no, we don't want to deal with you. We'd rather you continue bombing us so our Democratic allies in the United States can do the bidding for us. Trump's got to take on the media. He's got to take on Iran. He's got to take on the midterms. He's got to deal with the nuts that if they had their way, God forbid, they would do something to him. How this man is able to get up and function at the level that he does every day, Chaplain Richie, I'll never know. You have the final word before I move on.
President Trump is a tough guy. I've known him since 1985. We lived in Trump Tower for a period of time throughout the 90s. He's a tough guy. And I'm going to tell you, when he was elected in 2016, somebody asked me, so what do you think of Trump, now president? I said, what do you think of Trump? You know him. I said, you want to know why he is? He's an asshole. But that's what this country needs, an a-hole in chief. And that was after Barack Obama. And he can be the nicest guy in the world, but he can also take it to them. And that's what he's doing.
First of all, you don't get to that level unless being president of the United States. I don't care what you show in public. You don't get to that level unless you can be cutthroat on the drop of a dime. And thank you for the call. Just like Obama. Oh, he's so nice. And look, he slow dances with Michelle, his angry wife, who's angry all the time. He slow dances with her. Oh, he's a smooth operator. You don't think that Obama had that side of him that would flip at the snap of a finger? Of course he did. Look at Libya and, other places and so on. I'm not saying he was wrong. I'm just saying don't think that all of these guys are just, Mr. Perfect. And I'll say guys until we have a woman president. And you better believe when we have a woman president, she's going to be just like the men president, that if you cross America, here it comes. Let's go to Greg, line 3, Michigan. Greg, what's on your mind?
I know you're going to hang up on me, Mr. Positive. Everybody go for your dreams. Are you still there?
Greg, come on. What do you have to say, man? Stop wasting my time.
Thank you for letting me opine.
Greg, I'm going to say for the last time, get to the point.
Okay. Trump doesn't want regime change, but if he doesn't want regime change, and the regime is the one that wants to develop uranium.
Wait. You said he doesn't want regime change? What are you talking about?
No, hasn't he said it before in the past? Be honest. This man switches. Cash Patel's going to get fucked.
Okay, all right, Greg, please don't waste my time. What is the Trump-hating element you want to get across today? Just get your Trump-hating out the way so I can get onto a real call. What is it you want to say?
But you think Trump is...
You're not going to ask me a question. I'm going to count down from 3. And if you don't make your point, I'm moving on with the snap of a finger. 3, 2, 1. I'm moving on now. Let's go to Mary Beth, Long Island, line 5. Mary Beth, what's on your mind?
Hi, Dominic.
Hi, Mary Beth.
My heart breaks for the death of the young college student in Chicago and for her loved ones, her friends.
From our area.
What is the young man saying, or what's being said for him, that he had some kind of a brain injury and he did not know what he was doing?
Right, he got robbed and he was shot in the head. And I'm not supposed to say this, Mary Beth, but why couldn't we have been fortunate and they finished the job? And then we wouldn't have to deal with this. It would be one less illegal that would be here. I mean, and he's got an American lawyer, paid for by taxpayers, doing his bidding. This is where we are in society. Go ahead, Mary Beth.
The other thing is, Dominic, I lost a child to a drunk driver.
I'm so sorry
and you
to hear
never, ever, ever get over that. And when the mother said, no one has any idea what it is, you hear the news and you fall to your knees. That's not
at 6 a.m. in the morning. At 6 a.m. in the morning.
Yes, and that is not drama. That is not, oh, my God. When I went to the hospital and they told me that my daughter was in the emergency room, first they weren't going to let you in the room. Then, okay, and they're holding on to you. I could have had 10 people falling onto you. The bed seemed 10 miles away. It was not. I started moving forward. The next thing I knew, I was on the ground because I knew she was dead.
I'm sorry.
You never, ever, ever, ever get over that. And this lawyer for this animal is thumbing his nose and the criminal's nose at the victim, at the family, at the entire system. Put this guy away forever or kick him out of this country and let them put him in their prison. It's heartbreaking.
I'm sorry, Mary Beth. I'm sorry. I want you to know that all of our hearts are with you. This could have happened 20 years ago. Like you said, it never goes away. And I'm really sorry because I can't even fathom as a father, someone knocking on my door, law enforcement, because if they knock on your door 5, 6 a.m. in the morning, it's not good news. I can't imagine that. Mary Beth, thank you for the call. I'm so sorry for what happened to your daughter. Folks, I've got to take a break. We see your telephone calls. We're going to be coming right back. The number to reach me right now, 800-848-9222.
The Dominic Carter Show on the Red Apple Podcast Network.
And the Tunnel to Towers Foundation final thoughts of the day. It's about 2 weeks from now, May 9th. I'll be back a Saturday, the day before Mother's Day in Nutley, New Jersey. Shout out to Lisa and John Mancini for making it happen. And I'll be there signing books, and my daughter's going to be there, the first event she's been at in a while. My son will be there. My wife will be there. My wife's book for adults. She's going to be signing copies, her first adult book. I'm just greatly looking forward to it. So now getting back to the issue at hand. No, he didn't. No, he didn't. I'm talking about New Jersey MAGA Mike, who I think just hung up on line 5. I was about to go to you, Mike. Why is it that right before I'm about to go to someone that probably has an interesting thing to say, they hang up? I guess the timing just doesn't work. But New Jersey MAGA Mike says at Dominic TV, Mom Dummy, I thought it was Mom Donnie, But okay, Mom Dummy should be, and this is the tweet of the day, should be surrounded by social workers instead of detectives. Trump should put out a list of all the horrible things Iran has done over the years. The caller who was sympathizing with Iran let him know that Iran is constantly saying death to America. You know what, New Jersey MAGA Mike, what I love about your tweet? You guys keep me on my toes. I forgot about that little thing about death to America, right? For years, for decades. I don't think so. Liz Rosenblatt says, I want to know, and I do too want to know, Liz, even though I almost became a lawyer. She says, I want to know how these lawyers sleep at night when they represent these criminals and murderers. Shame, shame, shame on them. If these creeps are illegals, they don't deserve our legal system. And I agree with you on that. Let's see here. Let's go to William in New Jersey. Line 5. William, what's on your mind?
Hey, Dominic, I'm really upset about that shooting of that poor kid in Queens when they were all beating him half to death, and then the gentleman came up and, gunned him down, with a 9mm.
Excuse me, wait a minute, William. You said the gentleman came up. You mean the savage animal that his mother should have never had him. What do you mean, gentleman? But go ahead.
The point is that it should be a RICO case because they were all involved in his murder, and they should all be involved and charged with his murder because they were all there and participating in that crime, sir.
Well, the problem is, and I don't know how this happened, but the kid that apparently did it, the NYPD looking for him, apparently the kid ran to Jamaica. And according to what the NYPD is putting out there, it was a gang type thing. They had some beef, and he planned on pistol whipping him, and then the gun went off. Horrible situation. There's a GoFundMe page for the kid. Absolutely horrible. William, thank you for the telephone call. Let's go to Mike in Brooklyn, line 1. Mike, what's on your mind?
Yes, Dominic. The incident with the Brooklyn
narcotics officers.
Right, with the narcotics, right. Now, why do they put police officers on desk jail and they let out all criminals?
Well, I guess because, one, it's part of the contract that the union works out. And if something happens, you can't have the officer out on the street continuing to patrol. So what are you supposed to do with them, Mike?
I would say just put him with a supervisor. Let him stay out on patrol. Keep him out. Put him with a sergeant or whatever.
Well, I can only tell you, Mike, that I'm not going to condemn these two officers, right? So you have a lot of people that want me to condemn them because they're white and the guy is black. I haven't seen part 1 of the tape. I don't know what happened in part 1 of the tape. So how can I condemn something when I don't know what is part 1? What I do know is that police officers put their life on the line every single day, and they deserve our benefit of the doubt unless and until proven different. And that's the bottom line. Folks, on America's darkest day, 9/11 America, vow to never forget, help our nation keep that promise. Donate $11 a month and amplify your impact with a car or land donation. Go to T2T.org. T2T.org. I am back live at midnight.
Thanks for listening to The Dominic Carter Show. You can hear The Dominic Carter Show weekdays at 3 p.m. and Monday through Thursday at midnight and Sunday starting at 11 p.m. on 77 WABC. If you like the podcast, share it with your friends and listen anytime at WABCRadio.com and download the WABC Radio app. Hit that subscribe button on all major podcast platforms. Plus, follow WABC on social on Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, and X. See you next time for a new episode so you never have to wonder.
What the heck is going on here?